resurrection time. I want to, a couple of announcements. For next week is our annual membership meeting, where all of our members come together. We open our books. You get to suggest, you get to tell us anything that you want to. We want to be the best we can be for all of you that come here to support us. So immediately after second service next week, we will have our annual membership meeting where you will meet the board and all of that good stuff. Amen? Amen. And then also, every month, our Alan Wallace Jr. buys someone who's new in this teaching that can use a Science of Mind textbook. So after service, just tag right behind him and he'll get you one. Amen? Amen. Let us start off with a little bit of laughter. To lighten the heart. After starting a new diet, I altered my drive to work to avoid missing my favorite bakery. I accidentally drove by the bakery this one morning, and as I approached, there in the window were a host of chocolate donuts and cheesecake. I felt this was no accident, so I prayed, Lord, it's up to you. If you want me to have any of these delicious goodies, create a parking place for me directly in front of the bakery. And sure enough, after 10 times around the block, there was a parking space in front of the bakery. God is so good. And I also want to say, for those of you that have any children, if you want to, we have our youth group that's upstairs. They're welcome to stay, but if you want them to go up there, you're welcome to take them. And here's another light one. The youth church was asked to draw a picture for Easter. A 6-year-old was asked, what was she drawing? And she said, I'm drawing God. And the teacher said, oh, honey, no one knows what God looks like. And without skipping a beat, she said, they will in a minute. But I feel like that is so appropriate. Because at 6 years old, she is sure within herself the Spirit of God that's within her. And we have to ask ourselves the same thing. Who does God look like? And I will say God looks like each of us. There is a power and a presence and a spirit that we were created out of to demonstrate in this thing that we call life. We've had 40 days. 40 represents completeness, celebrating the consciousness of the Lenten season. And what is that? Nothing but spiritual preparation, fasting, praying, hibernation, so to speak. This season beckons us to awaken. The last week of the Lenten season, which is called Holy Week, where we celebrated last Sunday, Palm Sunday, which is entering into the place of peace. Maundy Thursday, our command to do right in remembrance of the way shore. And then Good Friday. And Martell wants to thank all of you that came out for Good Friday in your white. It was absolutely a beautiful Good Friday. The celebration of surrender. That's what Good Friday is. Giving up the lesser for the acceptance of the greater. John 4:4. Greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. The resurrecting spirit is happening within us. And a lot of us say that we want change in our lives. But the change does not just drop from the sky. The change doesn't come just with a snap of your finger. There is work that we have to put in. And that's why the Lenten season is a great season, because all around the world, people are of like minds. Refrain from gossiping. Refrain from talking about others. Refrain from thinking little of themselves or our brothers and sisters. But we can't go in with 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We have to jump in life with 2 feet so we can land standing straight up, being anchored in the presence and the power of our Lord. So what do we give up? What are we willing to give up? Jesus, a man who became consciously aware of his Christ nature. He represents that within us that knows we are individual expressions of the universal presence. The way shower is the great example. He fully unfolded his divine nature for all to see and told us we can do it and even more. We accomplished our Christhood by going through that Lenten season. And it hasn't passed because you can start again today. We may fall, but we can get up and start again. Be clear on who you are and whose you are. A son and a daughter of the Most High God. If you want something greater for your life, you got to invest in yourself by investing in your Christ nature. Easter is claiming our divine birthright, rolling away the stone of little thoughts, rolling away the stone of perceived limitation, rolling away the stone of belief in the necessity of illness, rolling away the stone that I will never or I can never, rolling away the stone that I'm not good enough, smart enough, old enough, young enough, talented enough. We have to come out of the tomb of little belief and stand in our truth. Ernest Holmes reminds us that I release all the past to the light and the love of the Father. I let go of old hurts, frustrations, disappointment, error. I forgive all. Joys and sorrows are brought into balance. And I am free for a new life. I release all negation to life and love. I bring every negative thought, emotion, action into positiveness. I choose words of life. I and my Father are one, all powerful in love. I release all fear to the light by remembering I am always in the presence of God. Yea, though I walk through the valley of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. There is not a moment, a second, where God is not there, flowing as you and as me. There is not a spot where God is not. Wherever you are, God is there. I release my opinion of myself to the light. I see myself as God sees me, a spiritual being, whole, perfect, loving, and complete. I am worthy, for I am made in his image and likeness. I fulfill my part in the plan. I release all human desires to the light. I trust divine wisdom to bring to me all that I need, perfect fulfillment. My good is now established. In Matthew 11:29, it says, take my yoke upon you, learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your soul. So to take up the yoke is nothing but to unite with the Christ nature. John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. But it makes it plain in John 4:24, God is spirit. They that worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. So Jesus wasn't saying you have to come to the man, but we have to approach God in a spiritual way and with truth. God is not a plaything. God gave us life to demonstrate itself as we do this earth walk. Yes. Our Christ nature is that personal presence, Spirit of God, awaiting our expression of it. Jesus came that we may see and believe what's absolutely possible through man with God. We can do all things with God. It is absolutely true that everything goes better with God. God is not telling us not to have our fun and enjoy life, but why not take the presence and the power with you while you're doing it? Christ, our eternal identity. Resurrection, to be born anew, to die to the previous and rise anew. A new awareness, a new understanding, a new commitment of who and why we are. We are to emulate the Christ nature that expressed through Jesus, the master teacher. So completely that our faith, our trust, and belief in the power that is all power allows us to live in the world but not be of it. Easter is the day that we rise. Easter can be a metaphor, one that helps us to re-examine our current state of being and then decide how we need to evolve. This can be a great day, a great experience to become motivated to change what needs to be changed and to let go of what needs letting go of. Clean the slate, much like New Year's. This can be a fresh start. This is the rebirth in the spiritual sense. So whatever change you're looking for, whatever change you desire, whatever healing you need, which is first has to be here, this is the time to do it. We should not let another day go by that we don't immerse ourselves in truth.
That's right. Amen.
And rise anew.
That's right. Yes.
Nothing was wrong with you before, but we can be so much greater.
Yes.
So to defy death, to forgive, to touch communities, to praise, to love, is to recognize the constant renewal of the Lord in our lives. We are here to find great spiritual expression in this earth walk, this spiritual journey. Let us be as children, for we belong to God. Let the fire of God, the word of truth in action, lead, guide, and direct you. Let communing with God be a daily practice. Matter of fact, make it a habit. Let truth rise up within the very depth of your being. Digesting and awakening to truth will sometimes feel like a struggle. But giving birth to anything has its labor pains. A spiritual life is not for the faint-hearted or the weak. God created us strong, with courage, with faith, with love, in His image and likeness. Whatever you can dream of, you can accomplish it. Believe in yourself as Jesus believed in us. Giving birth. Give birth to something new in your life. Be willing to let something or someone go if need be. Develop those 12 powers. Developing those powers are crucial. To be crucified and then rest, then rise as the true son and daughter of God, is to affirm that the light of truth illumines my mind. So I then rise as the offspring of the divine in unity with Christ. I realize that I am resurrected into the light and the power of God. So I utilize my God-given powers to navigate my way through this thing called life. I claim my I am today, the Christ. Spiritual character is the solid foundation of being. So as I build my consciousness in God mind, therefore finding heaven right here on earth. Yes. Let us return to the Garden of Eden, the beginning, where I realized my greatest gift is the power of thought. Where the way showed and proved we can incorporate into our consciousness the mind of God. Yes. We must enter, but we must surrender. When we surrender, we allow the 12 gates, the mental faculties of consciousness, to open. Faith, spiritual assurance, believing, trusting until there is no debate. Strength, freedom from weakness, the ability to walk with Christ. Wisdom, spiritual discernment from spirit, from God mind. Love, universal unity, no ideas of separation from the whole. The harmonizing, constructive power that holds all together. Power, God in action, the essence of life. Our imagination, our ideas that bring images and forms into expression. Our imagination is one of the greatest things that we have, because whatever we can imagine, we can bring forth. Just look around the world. Understanding, the ability of mind to comprehend, recognition, realization that love and wisdom works together. Will, the executive power of mind, willing to think, say, and or do. Law, order, the servant of mental consciousness. Zeal, the force that ignites things into action, the zest for living. Renunciation, rejecting the lesser for the greater, the outer comforts for the inner truth. And life, the spiritual phase of being. Jesus found life in God. let us find a new life in God. And the only way that these powers can come to their full maturity is we have to activate them.
That's right.
Remember I told you a long time ago when you used to wear the curls, you had to get some activator to activate those curls. We need to activate our consciousness into bringing a greater expression and experience in this thing that we call our lives. These faculties are then lifted and purified, therefore creating an opening in the holy city within. The whole of living, experiencing, expressing is all about evolution. Without a vision and a goal, we perish. So what are you thinking about yourself? What are you thinking about your communities? What are you thinking about your government? Because whatever we're thinking, it has to show up. There's a law that takes our mental capacities and then hands it right back to us. So we want things to change, we first got to change our consciousness. If we let go and let God, we will experience a resurrection every day. Death of the outer is inevitable, but life in the eternal is our soul's call. Placing God center stage of our thinking, speaking, living, and being. Divine ideas stand back of all human thought, seeking admittance through the doorway of your mind. The heartbeat of the universe is at the center of every living soul, and the presence of God within waits patiently for our recognition. We must awaken to the realization that a divine partnership has already been formed between the seen and the invisible. We should daily feel a deeper union with life, a greater sense of the indwelling God, the God of the seen and of the unseen that's within each of us. The Spirit responds to us by a direct impartation of itself through us, but it can only give us what we're willing to take. It can only impart to us as much as we're willing to open. Now see, if you let go of something, you have made room to embrace something new. A lot of times, God's children, we're greedy. We want it all. We want to hold on to all of this, but we want more. We must make room for more. Empty the consciousness of those old thoughts that no longer serve you, so that the wisdom of God can flow through unobstructed. Release all of your hurts and heavy-heartedness. Give it to the Father so that love can flow unobstructed. Allow God to guide your feet to the perfect places you're supposed to go, unobstructed. Let go and let God flow. Take your hands off. God got the wheel. Let God drive you around heaven all day. Today is Resurrection Day. Rise up to your true sonship and daughtership. Happy ride.